I finally got my team of 4 NE7 Usalias ready for action. What do you mean they're outdated? Supreme what? Hello everyone. In the channel we have previously covered what makes a good DPS. Now it's time to identify how the game is going to evolve in regards to characters. But for that, we need to understand what's been the standard so far. As usual, we'll talk about both attackers and supporters. At launch we didn't have any good attackers. They would either specialize on being single target or AoE. Tyrant Volvators was the first unit to have his whole kit focus on being a competent DPS, with a cheap AoE attack, a single target rank A attack with the added benefit of giving sustain, and the ability to snowball with his NE7. He was a game changer, and let's not forget that he also packs Mega Braveheart. Up until now, this has been the standard for DPS units, having both a strong single target attack and a cheap AoE, as well as abilities that increase damage. The main traits that set them apart are their fortes, species, symbols, and what kind of damage they deal. But other than that, they have been pretty much the same. Even their stats are similar. The recently added Supreme Laharl barely surpasses Overlord Asagi by 600 attack. But even if you haven't noticed it yet, Supreme Lahar brought something with him, a unique skill which sets him apart from other main attackers. There has been few main attackers with good unique non-damaging skills up until now. For example, we have Thunderlord Lahar, Devil Girl Elizabeth, and Leones Princess Edna. In the future we'll see more attackers with skills which give them unique playstyles. Witch-styled Girl Laharl is a very good example of that. Her NE1 consumes 20 SP when she has 20 SP or more at the end of turn and gives her plus 1000 action gauge. Paired with SP regen skills like the one from Tavern Idol Flown or Reuben's, she can still get to use her skills and not just do basic attacks. Talking about skills, she packs a high cost AoE attack which buffs her, but more important is her single target S rank skill which increases its strength the more you use it. Another unit which sets herself apart from the rest is Nissa. If she was to get KO'd, she can survive with 1 HP and gets her turn immediately as well as 100 SP, and her single target S rank skill deals extra damage the lower her HP. Another important characteristic of main attackers are the plus 1000 action gauge skills. These kind of skills come with pros and cons. Pros? You get to do another action immediately after using that skill. It can be used to 2-hit KO a boss. Cons? It disrupts the buff duration because you get a -1 in their turn count and your buffers will effectively lose 1 turn. You don't get extra speed from your batteries. Right now we haven't seen how useful they are because the most challenging contents we have are raids, and due to the way life bars work, they always get an action after dealing certain damage, thus preventing us from using these skills how they were intended. Dark Sun Tusalia and Supreme Laharl are the closest we have to using these skills how they were supposed to in raids. In the future we'll receive more DPS unit with both plus 1 action gauge attacks and buffs. The latter are particularly good for raids. We are about to start getting more content that doesn't diminish the value of these skills, like Bringer X-Gates. To finish with this part we have abilities. In the future we'll receive the symbol focus abilities. We got a glimpse of how they are meant to work with Santa Adele. For the most part, they are pretty similar to Forte abilities, but they did some changes. With the arrival of Supreme Edna, we start seeing more symbol focus abilities, which only require 3 units of set symbol. It's around that time that abilities start getting more diverse for attackers, so if you want to roll for someone in particular, I suggest you start checking what they do so that you start preparing to support that playstyle. On the other hand we have supporters. Just like attackers, they had it rough at the start of the game. Their abilities were simplistic, and they provided benefits to specific fortes, species, and stats. For a long time we relied on generic spells like Mega Braveheart, Mega Magic Boost, Mega Speed Up, Mega Armor Break, and Mega Resist Break. But nowadays we have a couple units which have skills that surpass those spells, like Santa Rosaline and New Year Girl Laharl, or that can provide buffs to the whole party, like Summer Desco or Mageline. Supporters can heal, cleanse, buff damage or stats, boost damage or stats, debuff, inflict ailments, provide SP, and increase the action gauge. In the past, supporters would provide 2 or 3 of these things. For example, for most people, Usalia is a reliable way to boost damage, provide buffs, and give SP, and it has the added benefit of reducing damage. Right now, Supreme Lahar is going to be on everyone's team. He boosts damage, provides buffs, gives SP, debuffs, and can even work as a sub-attacker. And unlike Usalia, his buff increases all stats except for HP. In the future, supporters will have abilities with easy to fulfill activation conditions, which also give their benefits to the whole party, regardless of their forte, symbol, species, or any other factor. There will also be new kind of buffs, like damage up, crit rate up, critical damage up, and damage reduction. As usual, they can be provided passively with abilities, which is the best way, or with buffs. Right now when you think about debuffers, the first thing that comes to mind are Mega Armor Break and Mega Resist Break. Characters like Zed and Supreme Laharl are easy picks because they fulfill 2 roles at the same time, and that's the kind of unit you want on your team. In the future, debuffers will be able to reduce more than 1 stat at a time, and they'll also fulfill more than 1 role. Reubens is a debuffer which can heal the party, give them SP regen, and buff a single ally. Of course, the number of her debuff skills are higher than the ones from her heal, but the ability to do more than just debuff the enemy is what makes her worthwhile. Well, that's basically it for now. I haven't forgotten about the alchemy video. I'm just farming materials to get first-hand experience before I upload the video, so that will be the next video. That's all for today, guys. See ya!